Yeah, beat your addiction, live free. Ralf Friedrichs is who you see. Listen in when you're feeling low. Take back your life, today's show. Beat your addiction, live free. Ralf Friedrichs is who you see. Listen in when you're feeling low. Take back your life, today's show. Stay positive, hope, and keep faith. Stand strong against any odds that you face. Put away the alcohol and the drugs. Fill your time with the things you love. Addiction is tough, but it's worth the work. Treat your body what it's worth. Spread positivity, inspire all. If we stand together, we will never fall. I help others see the other sides of life. A sober life, letting go of the strife. So give me a call, I can help. 1-844-4405-HELP. Homeless shelters, hospitals, jails, wherever you are. I am Ralf Friedrichs and I am here for you. 1-844-405-HELP.
Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach and the host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. As an addiction recovery coach, I want to share something with you, and let me be crystal clear to leave an everlasting impact upon you. Just imagine being buried alive. You're in a coffin, but you know you're not dead. You don't know how to get out of that coffin. You tried lifting the lid, but the enormous weight upon the lid prevents you from opening the lid. You then try to bang on the lid to hopefully unsettle the dirt so someone can help you dig their way down towards you. Usually, though, people don't think about death when they're habitually abusing drugs and alcohol. In order to feed an addiction, you have to be great at repressing the fear of death. I often ask you, my audience, did it ever cross your mind that while you were abusing drugs and alcohol that you might just take something away that God had given you called life? And with that, you not only take your life away from you, but from the people that love and care for you most. Mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife, children, even grandchildren. With that, let me leave this last thought. Don't be like that person. Pick up the phone instead. Call me at 844-405-HELP, and I promise I'll help you take your life back before your life is gone. Folks, when you take your slippers off at night, put them under your bed. Not at the edge of your bed, under your bed. That way in the morning you'll be forced to get up. When you get up, I should say, you'll be forced to drop to your knees to retrieve those slippers. I call this knee-mail, K-N-E-E-mail. Knee-mail is your personal chat line between you and God each and every morning. Those are the times when you're on your knees where you should be thanking God for everything. Health, home, family, anything else. You should be asking God for guidance, forgiveness, mercy. These are the times where you and God should personally speak each and every day. Knee-mail, K-N-E-E-mail, knee-mail. Take those slippers, put them way under your bed at night, get up in the morning, drop to your knees, and speak to God. From your heart to His, from your lips to His ears, knee-mail. Folks, now put those slippers on and walk with God 24/7. I want to talk about dealing with toxic people. Let's get this all set up here. For some reason, I will never fully understand. I have had more experience with toxic people than most people probably in their lifetime, being I am an addiction recovery coach. Let me explain what I mean by toxic. We all have a sinful traits that we all have to wrestle with. Seek forgiveness for the continually try to eliminate in our lives. I am not referring to normal humans who give to the flesh at a time. Seek forgiveness and restoration with those who have hurt and stopped their sinful conduct. By toxic people, I refer to those who are not wrestling at all against their sins. For reasons known only to them, they are under full aware sway of their sinful and harmful impulses towards others. These are angry, abusive, and unhappy people who feel compelled to take out their anger and unhappiness on those around them. Toxic people are defined and ruled by their, Luciferian pride. They will never humble themselves and admit wrong because in their own minds, my friends, they have no problems. The problem is always with everyone around them who fails to meet their expectations and their instable desires. Toxic people are known by the turmoil they create around them, whether it is a family member, a spouse, a co-worker, even a fellow church member, neighbor, or someone else. These people are able to inflict considerable pain in the people they hurt. They are not happy unless there is drama and intrigue and strive in progress. They seem to take pleasure in creating chaos where there is peace, and in hurting those who otherwise are happy. And then they look for the weakest, most vulnerable people and their most weakest areas. In my experience, there is sometimes almost a supernatural ability to sniff out an area of insecurity and put a knife into that tender spot with glee by toxic people. Toxic people drain the life out of those around them. Their egos tend to fill the room when they enter, and the oxygen, metaphorically speaking, gets sucked out for everyone else. One woman once I knew controlled everything around her with the sound, just with her voice. The grating, penetrating, ceaseful sound of her talking shut down conversations for everyone in the room. I literally felt myself drooping from mental and spiritual exhaustion when I was around her. Her powerful voice was her only weapon, and it was used to fill every nook and cranny in the room. Nobody else existed. It was a terrible thing to witness. Because of our Christian teaching in humanity, self-sacrifice, and kindness, we sometimes get the impression that it is set boundaries of any kind with these people is wrong, and we must take whatever they dish out. I do not believe this is so, I must say. When we give abuses and vicious people permission to repeatedly sin against us without consequences, we enable them to sin. There are some times when the best thing we can do for that openly sinning person is to part company with them. When we do this, we deny that person further opportunity to sin against us. This helps us to forgive them and cut off further chances for the enemy to take advantage of the situation. Obviously, when a toxic person is in our home, it can be difficult to do this. For example, toxic teenagers in open rebellion and defiance can turn a quiet home into a hellish scene faster than anyone else. Almost everyone around them will be affected. With years of experience in raising children, I can tell you that I believe strongly that love must be tough enough to do hard things for the best and interest of the child that you are raising, or children. No teenager has the right to turn a family home into a war zone because of his or her own spiritual rebellion. That is another post which I will create in another video. But the principles are the same. Those who are unrepentant and open-minded sin against to face the break of our fellowship will then suffer the consequences. If we continue to make excuses for them, coddle them, and give limited second chances, we are sending the message that abusive, disrespectful behavior has no serious consequences. These young people will take that same belief into their marriages and their upbringing of their own children one day. When toxic spouses break their wedding vows and abuse these and those they swore to love and cherish as their own bodies, it is also requires a response. I did a video about this last summer in detail with a series of posts afterwards on Facebook, and I intend to republish at a later date. One professing Christian man I know verbally berates and attacks his godly Christian wife repeatedly. reducing her to a tremble, crying mess. I asked her once why she stays in a room to even listen to that. The answer to that is that she had trained him through the years that he could deliver whatever satanic lies he felt like coming up with, and she would be willing to receive it. After granting tacit permission for this abusive behavior for years, changing this pattern was too difficult for this woman, she said. The boundaries that should have been drawn years earlier was never established, and she had paid a horrendous price for this. Those Christian women who believe that they are being biblically by letting their spouses batter them are enabling their husbands to break the laws of the land, not just God's laws. Boundaries can be biblical. In fact, there are times when refusing to draw boundaries for our own protection is actually the more sinful act. I am not espousing a self-centered philosophy of taking care of number one. What I am saying is that we are told that our bodies are the temple of the Holy Spirit. We are obligated to take care of that and not to let it be destroyed by others who are only happy to do so. When someone is deliberately causing massive stress, turmoil, and chaos, they're acting as a tool of the devil. We are fully on solid ground to do what we can to limit the enemy's access to our hearts and minds. That means sometimes saying no to relationships that are harming us. It's sometimes means having to find the alternative living situation for a rebellious young person. It sometimes means having to honestly tell someone that you can't always take the phone calls when they call and demand hours of your time every week to share their own troubles. When we approach these situations prayerfully, God will grant us the wisdom and how best to handle that situation. The good news is that God can change even the toxic people. It does not, despite our most sincere prayers, always happen. But by His grace, we can handle these people and situations as wisely as possible and keep the devil from causing sinful people to purposely do damage in our lives. This is what you need to do today. If you have any toxic people, get rid of them. Brush them off your shoulder. Turn to God and let God help you take your life back.
but never got an answer, and wondered if God was really there. Did you feel all hope was gone, but in His time He came along and answered the prayer you thought was gone? There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. receive. No matter what it is, I still believe. There is no prayer too small, and even when we fall, He gives us just exactly what we need. There is no prayer too small, for God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember, there is no prayer too small. No prayer too small. He always knows what's right. God hears them all. There is no prayer too small. My God hears them all. The answer may not be just what you want, but He always knows what's right, even when we think it's wrong. Just remember,